What's going on, everybody, and welcome to a very special video concerning Skirmish mode for Star Wars Battlefront 2. Now, for those of you that don't know, I am a huge single-player gamer. I am not that good at multiplayer. I suck. The only time that I really ever play multiplayer is when I'm with my older brother, who you guys know is Gorilla Matt, and we just go around doing stupid shit, and sometimes we're able to get a good game in or two. But I mostly prefer single player any day, and I wanted to make this video today because Battlefront 2 is my most anticipated game for this year. I am super excited for Star Wars Battlefront 2, but at the same time, I am also very, very worried because not a lot of information has been released in the game, and I get that. We have to wait till we get closer to the launch date, but at the same time, they're not giving us enough information to actually feel good about what's going to be in the game. Now, yes, I know we are getting a single-player campaign, and that is what a lot of fans have wanted in the past, but honestly, I really am not that excited about the campaign. Sure, a campaign would have been nice in the first one, but honestly, when it comes down to Star Wars Battlefront, Battlefront has always been about going to any of the Star Wars worlds, playing in a certain era and just taking command posts and just going around being in that universe. And 2015 Star Wars Battlefront just totally failed on that attempt to recapture that classic Star Wars Battlefront feeling. And it really let me down. But needless to say, I do not hate this game. I still have it. I even bought the deluxe edition when the game came out, and I still play it today because there are things that I like about this game, some new things that I did find enjoyable, and I still find enjoyable today. But it's like everybody else says, there is not a lot of content, especially for my absolute favorite mode, which is Skirmish, where you can go into some of the multiplayer modes and play with bots and actually feel like you're actually playing a real game. But at the same time, with 2015's Battlefront, there were a lot of issues with Skirmish. One, they only gave us these two modes, Walker Assault and Fighter Squadron, which I will admit are really good modes to play in. I love Walker Assault. My brother and I like playing that. And Fighter Squadron's great too, but there were a lot of problems, a lot of bugs that never got fixed. Whereas in Walker Assault, sometimes you'd find a hero icon and it would glitch and you wouldn't be able to play as that hero. And whenever you're playing in Fighter Squadron, some of the ships wouldn't even lose health when you'd shoot it directly. Sometimes you'd have to just kind of get lucky, and it was a real pain in the butt. And then when I go on multiplayer and play Fighter Squadron, I could take out a ship just like that. But at the same time, they never fixed it, and they never even made an attempt, to advance on it. They just gave us these two modes, and that's it. And to me, that's just horrible. And DICE and EA have confirmed that Skirmish will be making a return to Battlefront 2, and I am really excited for that. More excited I am for that than for the campaign. I mean, I'm going to play it because I want to know what goes on between Return of the Jedi and Force Awakens. I'm a huge Star Wars fan, so I want to know what happens then. But at the same time, I'm not going to jump right into the single-player campaign. I want to jump into Skirmish because that's what I want to do. I want to actually play a game that almost really reminiscence the old Battlefront games. And there are a couple things that I would like to be in Skirmish, because I do know the only bit of Skirmish data that we've ever heard from is that it will be bigger than its predecessor, Battlefront 2015. But that's it. We have no idea what modes. We have no idea what is going to be in it besides the possibility that we are going to be allowed to customize our characters and we'll be able to earn rewards as we play. That's pretty much it. So in this video, I'm going to talk about the 5 modes that I think should be in Star Wars Battlefront 2's Skirmish mode. And I've actually made a list, and I want to talk about it with you guys. And some of you may agree with my list, some of you may not, but everyone's got their own opinion, so let's see what you guys think after I share my list. All right. So for number 5, I do have Walker Assault, but I think in Battlefront 2 it's going to be changed to Galactic Assault, where you have to take down, the transports, like they showed in the E3 demo, something like that. And then if you go into the original trilogy era, you have to take down the Walker on Hoth. So I think that is a very classic mode, and I still have fun with it today. It's very fun to try and take down those big ships and bring them down with buddies. It's a real group effort, and it's still a lot of fun today. But again, with skirmish mode for Battlefront 2015, there weren't a lot of maps. There were only a few maps, so there really wasn't much to do. And that is something that I think needs to be included in Skirmish in Battlefront 2. We need more maps. If you're going to give us some more modes, we need more maps. Especially for Battlefront 2, we need every single era. Especially because, I grew up, I did watch the original trilogy as a kid, but I was one of those kids that grew up with the prequel trilogy, and despite what other people say, I love the prequels. I love every single Star Wars film. The prequels are great, and I want as much prequel content as I can get my hands on. So I hope DICE and EA are watching this and listening, because that's what we all want. We want Clone Wars era stuff, and if I can't play as the clones in Skirmish and Battlefront 2, I'm going to be very disappointed with you guys. Coming up on number 4, we do have Fighter Squadron. Yes, these two, obviously, they do need to come up because they are fun, but I feel with Battlefront 2, they need to be expanded upon. We need, again, to have more maps and more of the eras, and it needs to get fixed. There can't be bugs, because the bugs in Skirmish in 2015's Battlefront were so ridiculous that it was even hard to have any fun. So they need to get that fixed and give these two modes some justice, because that's something that I think really needs to get fixed, and to make sure they have more content, more maps from every single era. Coming up on number 3 is actually pretty much a fan favorite, and that is Heroes versus Villains. Now, I played a couple matches of Heroes versus Villains, and honestly, I had a great time with them. My brother and I absolutely kicked butt on a couple of games, and we had a great time. But then again, when you're playing online in multiplayer and some people are way better than you, it's hard to have fun. I prefer bots any day. And Heroes vs. Villains just seems like a really cool concept, and there are definitely a lot of great maps that came with Heroes vs. Villains in 2015's Battlefront that I feel like in 2017's Battlefront 2, they could definitely improve on that and make it much more better. Now, coming in at number 2 is something that may not likely make a return, but it's something personal that I would like to see come back, and that is Battle Station and Infiltration. A lot of people liked the 3-part stages that you got to do in Battlefront, and honestly, they were a lot of fun. My favorite mode by far on Star Wars Battlefront 2015 was Battle Station. I loved taking out the Star Destroyer, jumping aboard the Death Star, saving R2-D2, and then running down the trench run to destroy it. That was a lot of fun. And it's something that only a few people really get to play, because sometimes if you're playing online, sometimes you may not even be able to play the mode because of the servers, and that was a real bummer. And the same goes for Infiltration. It's a very cool concept, and you actually get to live out Rogue One, steal the planet of the Death Star, and make it out of the ocean world of Scarif. Very, very fun. That's why these two are at number 2. If they decide to bring back any classic modes from this Battlefront, I really hope it's Battle Station and Infiltration, because those were just too fun of modes, and I feel like they need to be brought back. And coming in at number 1 is probably the one mode that I have heard rumors that might be coming to Skirmish in Battlefront 2, and that is Blast. Why Blast, you must say? Not Supremacy, Drop Zone, or Hero Hunt? Well, let me explain. Blast is the closest to almost the original Battlefront games as we can get. In the original Battlefront games, there was almost pretty much, besides Capture the Flag, one mode, and it was Galactic Assault. You take over command posts, or you eliminate every single one of the reinforcements to win the game, and Blast is as close to that as you can get. And with the rumors circulating that you can have a lot of AIs at your disposal, you could have a lot of fun with that mode and keep that game lasting for a very long time. And one of the great things with Blast is that there are maps that expanded all over the expansion packs for 2015's Battlefront. So if they really do this for Battlefront 2 and expand upon it with each and every era, that's going to be a huge success, especially if the customization comes into place. I mean, can you imagine teaming up with a couple AIs and then fighting like 100 or 200 AI bots? That would be insane and so much fun, especially in the Clone Wars era. And then even if you got to play as a hero as well, that would be absolutely amazing. And that's the reason why this mode deserves to be number one, because it's the closest to the original Battlefront as you can get. And that's why I am praying at this point that they release some more information on what we're going to get for Skirmish in Battlefront 2, because if it is true that Blast is coming, I hope it's going to contain a whole bunch of maps from every single era, and the customization rumors are true, because then this game will truly be a great successor to Battlefront 2015. Because from where I'm looking at right now, even though I still play it, I'm still very disappointed at what we got with Star Wars Battlefront 2015. So I'm hoping that in the future, we'll be able to see some big improvements. I am looking forward to November 17th. Well, guys, those are my top 5 for what I think should be in Skirmish mode in Battlefront 2. I will see you all next time. If you agree with my list, awesome. If you think my list should be different, leave a comment down below of what you think should be in Skirmish in Battlefront 2. I'll see you guys next time.